Hey guys, how's it going? So, today I am bringing you a play or nay review of a big game called Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, this game has released about a month ago, a little bit more than a month ago, and I have been playing this game quite a lot since then. But I've also obviously been playing a lot of other games also, so I've only gotten around to doing this review right at this moment. Because, obviously, if you've watched any of my previous Play or Nay videos, then you will know that I don't review a game just after I have put in a few hours, like 5 hours or even 10 hours into it. I only review a game after I have put in a substantial amount of time into the game, and I currently have about 50 hours of playtime into this game, so I have made myself knowledgeable on all of the bugs and bad stuff and good stuff in this game. And today in this video that is hopefully gonna be around an hour in length, I am going to show you everything that is good and bad about the game. So, first off, I am going to start by looking at the settings very quickly. I will say right from the beginning that the game runs pretty badly. It doesn't run as good as, for instance, Witcher 3 does. So just keep that in mind. You will see a little bit of stuttering and stuff like that here and there, but I am running the game on pretty high settings. The texture quality is on Ultra, which is the highest that it can go, and the FXAA, ambient occlusion, I do not like, since it adds like almost like a film grain effect to the screen, even though there is also a film grain effect in the game, which I've put off, since film grain is a very shitty film thing, like an effect that is put on the screen. So I do not like that setting at all, so that is off. Lighting quality, shadows quality, effects quality, mesh quality, all of that is on medium. So the texture quality is on Ultra, and basically all of the other stuff is on medium, and terrain quality is on high. So for all intensive purposes you could say that I am running the game on high, overall on high, but you can trust me when I say the biggest drain on your PC, the biggest taxing thing on your graphics card is the texture quality. And that is going to be the weapons quality and the characters quality and the quality of their faces and all of that. Basically all of the important stuff is tied into texture quality, and that is on Ultra. That cannot go any higher. So we are going to put it like that. The video output is pretty basic. It just is basically your resolution, and VSync is on, triple buffering is on, all of that stuff. This is on the highest that it can go, and that's basically that. One thing that is pretty cool is that the audio of the game is actually, there's actually more than one language. So there's English, and then French, and then Deutsch. So if you sprechen Sie Deutsch, then you can put it on that, or French, but the text is in a bunch more languages. It's in English, French, Deutsch, Espanol, and Italiano. So I am pretty sure that you can download more voice packs, more than just English, French, and Deutsch, but these are the only ones that I have. So let us go. That's basically all of the settings that you need to concern yourself with. I don't really have a problem with any of the settings. There's not really any settings missing. There is luckily a field of view. I think it is in gameplay. Let's just have a look here. Yes, there is luckily a field of view multiplier, which it was around there at the beginning, and I just bumped it up a few notches because that just allows you to see a little bit more. And of course some people suffer from motion sickness, so that is just basically a setting to allow them to suppress that motion sickness, or the severity of the motion sickness, a little bit more. So before I jump into the game, I am going to tell you a few things about the game and the history of this game. Now firstly, this game I'm currently running offline because I'm running it on the 1.4 patch version. Now the reason why I'm doing that is because in the 1.5 patch version that they brought out, I would say about 3 weeks after the game was released, they brought out this 1.5 patch, and that quote unquote fixed a few things in the game. Now, not a lot of things, but certain things like facial animations and a few other little bugs that they say this patch fixed. It was a fucking massive patch, like 7 gig or something like that. So I reverted my game from the 1.5 patch to the 1.4 patch so that I can show you how I played this game for the past month or so, because the patch was only recently released. So what's the use of running the game on the 1.5 patch when I've played most of my gameplay on the 1.4 patch, and I've suffered through a shitload of these bugs and glitches and stuff like that. So before I start showing you the gameplay, I'm first going to tell you everything that in my opinion is wrong with the game in the current build of the game. Now firstly, sniper rifles do more damage when you use the scope. So first off, that doesn't make any fucking sense. If you shoot a gun in real life, the bullet comes out at the same fucking velocity if you use the scope or not. So in this game it doesn't work like that. In this game, if you shoot the sniper rifle unscoped, then you do less damage as when you would have shot the sniper rifle with a scope. So that makes zero fucking sense. That's the first issue, because my character uses sniper rifles a lot of the time, and that is a bug that affects me quite a lot. But the game doesn't consider it a bug. That's actually a mechanic in the game. They tell you at the beginning, or like in the bottom tooltips, they tell you sniper rifles do more damage when you use the scope, which is just totally counterintuitive in my opinion. The next bug in the game, or of the 1.4 version of the game that I'm going to show you, is beasts and animals give no experience. You receive 0 character experience from beasts and animals, and you can be assured there are a lot of beasts and animals in the game. The next issue that I have with the game is that FPS, your frame rate, while speaking is quite low. So while you are engaged in a cutscene or a speaking scene with another character, the FPS hovers around 25 to 20 frames per second, which is very low considering my PC can run the normal environments when I'm running around normally at 60 FPS. So when you are talking, it drops down to 25 FPS. So there is clearly a big issue with the processes that are at work when the game is rendering the faces of all of the characters. The next issue is flashlight is automatic, so you cannot put your flashlight on or off or anything like that. The flashlight is supposed to come on when you enter a cave or a dark area or anything like that. But as I will show you at the very end of the video, I'm going to show you a bunch of bugs that I have encountered, and as you will see there, the flashlight clearly doesn't come on when it is supposed to, because oftentimes you enter a cave or a dark area and you are just left in complete darkness because your flashlight does not activate. The next bug is that dialogue surrounding characters sometimes is spoken over each other. So you will be speaking to a main character and doing the main character dialogue, and then another character like an NPC just walks past you and speaks whatever, like just random environment voice lines, and then those voice lines are as hard and as loud as the normal dialogue that you are currently engaged with, and that ends up with you missing all of the important dialogue that you are currently dealing with. So basically a lot of characters speaking at once constantly fucks you over when you are dealing with main quest dialogue. The next thing is that there is a lot of unnecessary waiting. Now, for instance, some doors in the game you have to press E to open the door. Some doors in the game take 10 seconds to open. Like literally you need to hold and press in E for 10 seconds before the fucking door opens. Now, what's the use of that? I mean, there's absolutely no use to that. It's just to waste your fucking time. And you go through doors like that quite often. So at the end of your playthrough, like for instance I have 40 hours or 50 hours in the game right now, at the end of your playthrough you're going to have minutes, if not tens of minutes, that have been wasted through needlessly standing and opening doors. And another thing that the game likes to waste your time with is the galaxy map. It takes extremely long to move from one galaxy to another galaxy, or from one planet to another planet, and I will show you all of these things in the game when we start playing. The next thing that I have a massive problem with is that the speed of the rover. Now the rover is basically a car that you use to drive around with in the game. The speed of the rover is unnecessarily limited to 160 kilometers per hour. It is limited to that speed. You cannot go any further or any farther, faster. Now that's completely unnecessary, since you will see when I drive the car around a little bit in the game, it should be able to go easily like 200 or 220 kilometers per hour, but no, it's fucking limited to 160 kilometers per hour, completely unnecessarily. And then Sam, which is a robot in the game, which is constantly with you, he constantly tells you about the environment. So when you are in a cold environment or a warm, a hot environment, he fucking constantly tells you updates about the environment. And you will very quickly see when we start playing the game that that is a fucking irritating and unnecessarily mechanic in the game. Next up, there is over 100 planets in the game. And at the beginning of the shall we say the media hype about the game, the developers of the game, which is Bioware, they said that you can explore over 100 planets and all of that shit, but they were completely fucking lying. The amount of planets which actually have content on them and which you can actually land on and walk around on and all of that is like 8. There's only 7 or 8 planets in the entire game that you can actually land on and explore and that have actual content. All of the other 90 plus planets in the game are just needless busy work there to just fucking waste your time, and I will show you that once we jump into the game. Because as I said already, it takes you about 20 seconds to move from one planet to another planet, and considering that there are over 100 planets, that's 100 times 20 seconds that are wasted, just completely wasted, thrown out of the fucking window. And that's completely unexcusable, in my opinion, that Bioware did that. And the next issue that I have, I've actually written all of these down, as you can imagine, because normally with like any other game, I have a list of bugs and issues that I have for the game just in my mind. You know, they're just like 3 or 4 bugs, and you can just remember all of them. And then when I do the video, I just list them off like that without having to write them down, because they're not difficult to remember. But this game actually has so many fucking bugs that I actually had to write all of them down. So that's clearly not a very good sign about the game. Next issue that I have is that certain actions interrupt vital quest narration. So while you are talking to a character about like main quest stuff that is happening, if anything weird happens, like if you press a certain button or anything like that, or you move incorrectly or anything like that, then the quest narration, the quest speech is just interrupted. Just like that. It's just interrupted. So you cannot go back and talk to that guy again, because he won't give you that exact repeating line again. So you've missed out on a big part of the speech, of the vital quest narration already, if you do that. So I've gotten into the habit of, when I speak to main characters and when I do main quest, anything related to the main quest narration, I just leave my fucking keyboard and I leave my mouse alone, because certain buttons that you pressed will interrupt and make your character move, and the guy that you were talking to while he was giving you the vital quest information regarding to lore and regarding to your quest, he will not repeat himself again. So I've actually missed out on quite a bit of important dialogue that way, just by pressing something accidentally on the keyboard. So that's another big thing that I do not like. Another thing is that enemies spawn right in front of you sometimes. Like, you will stand in a building and enemies will spawn right in fucking front of you. Like, that completely breaks the immersiveness of the game, in my opinion. Like, the immersiveness of the game is obviously broken if you see weird stuff happening, like characters flying through the air when they shouldn't, or when characters just spawn right in front of you and start attacking you. And that happens a lot in this game, and I will also obviously show that at the very end of the video when I show you all of the bugs. And that's really a big immersive breaker for you, especially in a game that reputes to have amazing role-playing and reputes to be an amazing role-playing game. That is something that immediately breaks the role-playing feeling for me, when enemies just spawn right in front of you. Another thing that we will see in the desert level, when I show you the desert level, is that the brightness adjustment in the game is fucking horrible. Oh my god, you will see it is horrible. When you enter the desert and you enter your menu and you enter the desert again, the brightness adjustment is gargantuanly horrible. It blinds you, and that's something that is still not fixed in patch 1.5. So even in the latest version of the game, that is still not fixed. Another issue that I have gotten twice is infinite loading screens. You will enter a loading screen and it will just be infinite. One time I noticed that I had got the infinite loading screen, and after about 2 minutes you will already know that if you are still in the loading screen after 2 minutes, you will already know that you can just like basically press Alt F4 and you obviously lose any progress that you had up until that time. So I just left the PC, I went and made myself some coffee, and I came back like 5 minutes later and I was still in the loading screen. So it's clearly an infinite loading screen, since after 7 or 8 minutes no game should still be loading. And I've read online that a lot of other people are also getting random infinite loading screens, and I've gotten it twice, and it's pretty infuriating when that happens, since you lose your progress, since it doesn't save when you do a loading screen. So losing progress in the game is quite bad. Another thing is that there's a big bug in the game currently, and it is still not fixed in the latest version of the game, by the way, where on the one planet you cannot complete the one quest, and I will show you that bug also at the very end of the game. You cannot finish the one quest, which means that you cannot settle on this one planet. Now basically, without revealing too much, there are 5 planets through the game that you can settle on. I'm not going to tell you why, but you can settle on them, and by the end of the game, depending on the amount of planets that you have settled, the end game content, I could say, is different. So if you have only done the effort to settle on one planet, then at the end of the game you're only going to have one planet's worth of contribution. But if you have settled on 5 planets, like all of the planets, then you are going to have much more contribution at the end of the game, or near the end of the game. So this one bug that I have encountered and that I have in the game is stopping me from settling on my 5th planet. So I have to complete the entire game with only 4 planets. I'm forced to only have 4 planets due to this bug in the game. And that bug is still not fixed by Bioware. I've made posts on the forums, and many other people, like fucking at least 100 other people who have also encountered this problem, have also fucking constantly bombarded the Bioware Twitter account. They've bombarded the Bioware support forum, if you can even call that a support forum, because no one ever fucking gives you support. They've bombarded all of those avenues in order to get a resolution to this problem, or to get a fix to this problem, or even a console command. I mean, Bioware can just give us a console command like / quest ID mark as completed, something like that, because a lot of quests can be completed like that in games like Skyrim or Witcher, for instance, like Witcher 3. A lot of quests that you have a bug with can be completed like that in those games, but Bioware will not even address this issue, and that's still an issue in the latest version of the game. So just be aware, if you buy this game, you could encounter that glitch, as I have and as many other people have, which will limit you to not being able to complete the game fully. Another bug that I have is that your character, at the beginning of the game, you can customize your character to have different looks, and you can customize the color of the skin, color of the hair, shape of the face, and all of that. And when you enter the game, your family in the game looks nothing like you do. I mean, you can give your character fucking yellow skin, or white, like pale white fucking twilight skin, and your family will look nothing like you. And that's another thing that totally breaks the immersiveness and the role-playingness in the game. If Bioware had any sense, then they would have at least matched your family, which is your father, your mother, and your brother. They would have at least matched your family's skin to the skin that you have chosen in the character creator. But no, they didn't do that. So that's a really big immersive breaker in my opinion, especially in a game like this where you want to be immersed and you want to get deep into the role playing. The second to last bug that I have written down is that there are many awkward and nonsensical camera angles during the main quest dialogue. So you will often, while you are engaged in a quest dialogue scene with another character, the camera will be like right in front of the guy's nose, and you will be looking up into his nose, or it will be literally at chest level. Like you won't even see the guy's face, you will just see his chest, or in many cases her chest, when you are engaged in female quest dialogue. You will just be staring at their boobs for the entire fucking quest dialogue. So clearly the camera angles during quest dialogue are just completely out of whack, and I honestly think that if Bioware had just taken another month or another 2 months before fucking releasing the game, all of these issues could have been addressed and the game would have been near perfect. And the very last glitch that I've written down is grabbing onto ledges doesn't work a lot of the times. So when you are transitioning from one ledge to another ledge, very often you bug out or you get stuck in a wall. I've gotten stuck into a wall quite a few times when I'm climbing ledges, and other times when you jump from one ledge to another ledge, it doesn't grab the ledge that you are jumping to. So it's just like basically you just end up falling to your death because your character didn't grab the ledge at all. So those are quite a few bugs, in my opinion, that are really, it's really difficult to look over all of those bugs. But as you will see through my demeanor in the rest of the game is actually pretty enjoyable. Considering all of the stuff that I've said, and some of the stuff is really game breaking. You lose progress a lot of the times due to these bugs. Like that one bug that I said, you cannot complete the game after that, or you can't complete the game fully after that because of that bug. A lot of the stuff is game breaking, and even considering that, after playing over 50 hours of the game, I would have to say that the game is still actually worth playing. Now, one thing that I quickly want to show you is the bug that I said about the brightness, basically the brightness bug in the game. Now, I don't know why they did this, but when you are in this desert planet and you press exit and you go back, and you press exit again and you go back, and you press exit again and you go back, you can see it's clearly pretty blinding. Now, in this current scene, the brightness fades away pretty quickly, but there have been a lot of instances, maybe if I get away from my tank thing, then it will work a little bit better, but there have been quite a lot of instances where if you press exit and you go into the game again, it stays white for like 20 seconds. I'm not even fucking around, and I will actually also show you that at the end of the game, since I have recorded all of these instances of bugs that I'm talking about. So you will press exit and go back into the game, and your screen will be white, like pure white at the end of the game. While you're pressing exit, the game will be pure white, and you just basically have to stand there for 20 seconds while your screen goes from pure white back to the normal, like this, the normal brightness, I could say. And then after that 20 seconds you can move on. So now it fades away really quickly, but you can still see what I mean. The screen is pure white, and then it goes back to the normal brightness of the game. So I don't know why the fuck Bioware did that. Like, what possible reason could they have to include that in the game? Why would they increase the brightness like that randomly when pressing exit? It just completely boggles my mind. Didn't they fucking have beta testers or alpha testers or whatever, fucking quality assurance people, in order to work out all of these bugs? Because, I mean, it's just completely ridiculous in this age that we live, where you pay fucking $50 or $60 for a game which is supposed to be completely fixed and completely, like, in a complete state, but it's released with like over 10 bugs, and some of them are game breaking, and it's just acceptable. You're just supposed to accept the fact that you paid fucking $60 for a game that is broken. So that's my ranting part of the fucking game over. I really still think that despite all of that stuff that I've been talking about during the past whatever fucking 20 minutes or whatever, I really still think that the game is pretty good, considering all of that bugs, and throwing aside, not even throwing aside all of those bugs, even just considering all of those bugs and knowing that you are going to play with all of those bugs, I still think that the game is worth playing. Now, whether the game is worth buying, that will only be revealed at the end of the video, because I really still haven't made my mind up about that. If I could take back my $60 purchase of the game, I'm really not certain if I would do that, considering that the game is actually pretty enjoyable with all of the bugs. So, first off, we are now on a planet, and throughout all of this I'm going to attempt to not spoil any of the main questline stuff. So, I have specifically played to a point in the game where I will attempt to not spoil anything that is attached to the main quest line or the main storyline or anything like that. So I'm just going to basically run around on this map, do a few quests and a few stuff like that, and you guys will be able to see all of the different game mechanics and how the game works and all of that. But like I said, I've put quite a bit of time into the game. Oh, another thing that I almost forgot about the game that is fucking horrible about the game is that the inventory size is limited to 50 inventory spaces. So, I really don't know why Bioware chose to do it this way. It just basically means that you are forced every few minutes after questing that you have to press exit, and you have to go into a fucking menu, and you have to deconstruct a lot of your weapons. So once you get close to the 50 inventory limit, you basically have to go into into the menu, and you have to select a weapon, and you have to press X in order to deconstruct that weapon, and you have to go to your next one, press X in order to deconstruct, and you go OK, go back, maybe deconstruct a few assault rifles. So you have to go in there, go to the bottom, and you have to deconstruct, press X again, do all of this, and it fucking, at the end of the game, you're going to spend an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, maybe even more in the menu, just deconstructing fucking weapons constantly, because your inventory space was limited to 50 needlessly. There's no fucking reason why your inventory should be limited to 50. It just completely breaks the momentum of the game, because you constantly have to switch into your inventory in order to deconstruct stuff so that you can loot more stuff. So what I've done is I've hacked the .ini file in the game so that I can have more inventory spaces, because the normal inventory space that you will have without this hack is 50. So I'm going to quickly do that hack again, because I have to alt tab and do a bunch of shit. I'm quickly going to do that hack again, and I will rejoin you again, and you will see that my inventory space will be quadruple 9, so it will be 9,999. So I will rejoin you guys in just a moment. Okay, so as you can see, my inventory is now 9,999, and I have to do that each and every time that I get into the game, since it is not saved between the states. Even though I do think that you should probably be able to get a mod on something like Nexus mods or something like that, that hopefully will be able to permanently increase your inventory size, but this is one that I basically have to do each time that I log into the game. But it's not a problem. It is basically just so that when you play multiplayer, that thing that you did isn't saved in multiplayer, since you will get banned for cheating if you do it in a permanent method, basically. So you can't use a permanent method on it and then go play multiplayer, since you will get banned for basically hacking the game files or changing the game files or anything like that. So that's why I do it like that, so that at least I can still play multiplayer. But obviously, as you guys know, if you've watched any of my previous Play on Neigh, I do not review the multiplayer side of games. I only do single player games. So that's why we are only doing single player. So hopefully now my ranting and bitching part of the video is over. I've basically now, after this inventory thing, shown you all of the things in the game that really piss me off. So I am now going to jump around a little bit, do a few quests and all of that, and basically the combat is pretty much the same as it was in Mass Effect 2. Obviously, if you're watching this review, then you will probably already be a fan of the Mass Effect games. Now, it's pretty much the same as in Mass Effect 2. You have a squad with you, and in Mass Effect 3 you have 2 guys with you, and you can choose between those guys. You can choose between 6 guys, I believe. Let me just quickly kill this guy, then I will show you the 6 different guys. Come on, die. And he's dead. So you basically press exit, then you go to game, and then you go here to the top, and these are the okay, that's one guy. Let me just go here. I think I need to go here. Yes, loadout. So when you go to the loadout, you can choose between the 6 different guys. I currently have PB and JAL. Now I won't discuss them too much, because that will spoil a little bit of the story. So you basically get to choose 6 guys. Obviously, as I said at the very beginning, I've already played a lot of the game. I'm almost close to complete. I just need to colonize one more planet and then do a little bit more content after that, which I'm not going to talk about. because it's will spoil the game. And then I will be finished with the game. So I just need to settle one more planet, do that little last part of the game content, and then I will be complete with my playthrough of the game. And I've put in already about 50 hours into the game. So I've already unlocked all of the different characters, and basically, for the most part, selecting different ones doesn't really make a huge difference. For the most part, it's just personal preference. I chose PB because she's pretty good at disabling enemies, because she uses like disabling abilities, and Jarl is a pretty good sniper, so he does a pretty high amount of damage, even though when you put your two guys against a boss, the boss just obliterates them. So they're not so powerful as that they would be able to solo a boss. Even on the very easiest difficulty, they won't be able to do that. So they aren't a huge contribution during battle, but they are at least a little bit of a distraction, I could say, during combat, as the enemies will often fire upon them instead of firing upon you. So those are the two different guys that you get. You also have the Nomad. Now the Nomad is the car that you saw a little bit ago in the desert level. You basically use this car in order to drive around on the different planets. Now, this one planet that I am on currently is the only planet where you cannot use the Nomad. It's a small planet, and they made it, they did it like that so that you cannot use the Nomad at all. Basically, the entire planet you have to do on foot. So you cannot use the Nomad here, but rest assured I will do a little bit of content on this planet, and then I will go to other planets as well. Now, one thing about the game is that you do not take any fall damage at all. Where the fuck is that guy? Is he in the fucking wall? Because it certainly looks like it. Oh, there he comes out of the wall, and there he goes down. So, as you saw there was a NPC in the fucking wall. That's awesome. So that's just one of the other bugs one of the many bugs that you will encounter during this hour or so. Because honestly, all of those bugs that I said at the beginning, I'm not just pulling them out of my fucking ass. I've played 50 hours in this game, and I can assure you that there are all of those bugs that I said at the beginning, and more. Many more. So this guy here, this rail core or whatever, is one of the animals or beasts that I said will not give XP, and you will see that you do not get XP for any of the beasts or any of the animals in the game. So that's just another one of the little bugs. You only get XP from humans, basically, which I really don't know how Bioware was able to miss that. I mean, how do you miss a fucking huge bug in your game? A bug as huge as that. I just really don't know how their quality assurance team could make such a massive fucking mistake. But anyway, I'm not going to bitch about that, because I already bitched about that at the beginning. I'm just going to play the game and basically show you all of the different mechanics and stuff like that. So, one interesting fact about the game that I discovered pretty early on is that dashing, when you dash, it is faster than running. So when you sprint, and I am now sprinting, it is actually slower than dashing. So dashing, you can basically do this constantly. Just constantly fucking dash. So when you see me dashing around a lot, it's a little bit irritating, because it is a little bit jarring, I could say. It jars the screen a little bit, but Rest assured I'm doing it because it is faster than walking or running. Let's see where I need to go for my next quest. What's that? Collect plant samples. Okay, so that's behind me and above. So I don't think there's anything down below in this cavern over here, because I actually need to be at the top over there. So let's teleport to there. Let's say there. Teleport to there. And then we can start doing a few quests. So overall, I really like the gameplay of the game and the combat of the game. It's really quite fluid. You can jump around, you can hover like this, you can hover, shoot. Let me just go into my sniper rifle so that I can show you exactly what I mean. Where's the enemy? I just need to find the enemy. Oh, there. So you can jump up and hover like this and then fall down to the ground. So you can, and there's also a bunch of skills, like abilities, that tie into hovering. They basically increase the amount of damage that your guns do.
This is Rochelle V. You're approaching the remains of my home.
I've detected multiple life forms in the area. Their movements appear agitated.
I think we stirred up a nest.
So they basically increase the amount of damage that your guns do while you are hovering. So hovering and aerial combat is quite a big part of the game also, but I don't really use any of those skills. I just basically do the normal ground combat and dodge around when I need to dodge. You will also see that the pistol bullets that I am shooting are basically like a shotgun. I don't shoot one big bullet, I shoot a bunch of smaller bullets, and they actually also follow. They are homing bullets. So that's I will show you guys a little bit later. That's one of the mechanics in the game, whereby you can modify your guns in order to shoot different bullets, and you can put different modifiers on the guns, on all of your guns. You can even make your sniper rifle bullets become homing bullets and stuff like that.
Pathfinder, the computer's data core is damaged beyond repair.
Rochelle, it's Ryder. We're inside your old home, but your research data didn't survive.
All your effort and risk for nothing. I'm sorry.
The risk was worth it. You just got unlucky.
Years of my life gone.
You didn't have backups?
Of course, but they went down with the city's network memory center. That site is now buried underground. Even if you could find an access point on the surface, the odds of recovering anything are remote.
Good scientists don't quit until they've exhausted all possibilities.
If you're willing to press on, so am I. I can point you in the general direction of where the network memory center used to be. You'll have to hunt for an exposed network node. I'll stand by. Thank you, Pathfinder.
Okay, so as you can hear with the dialogue in the game, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the dialogue in the game, in my opinion. The dialogue is totally, how shall I say, sufficient. I really don't have any problem. There's nothing that I've encountered in the game so far where I would say like, holy shit, that was bad dialogue or bad narration or anything like that. Overall, the narration is pretty good. The facial animations, however, in the game is pretty bad. Notoriously bad almost. In patch 1.5, which I believe is the latest patch, they did fix a little bit of the jankiness and shittiness of the facial animations, but honestly you almost can't even notice the difference. It's a very small difference in most cases. They basically addressed the main characters' janky and shitty facial animations and facial structure, but they didn't really do much else about the side characters. So the side characters still look pretty shitty, but the main character's face is a little bit better. But the reason, as I said at the beginning, why I am not playing on the latest patch is exactly so that I can show you how I have been playing the game for the past month, more than a month, because it just won't be, how can I say, it's not good to play a game on one version, like a broken fucking version, for the most of the time, like a month, and then all of a sudden a patch comes out that supposedly fixes a lot of the bugs, and now I'm supposed to review the game on the newest patch. No, that's absolute bullshit. That's not how I work, because I have been fucking suffering through the broken patch for the past month, and the game was released in that state. You need to remember, the game was released in that fucking state, so there needs to be some fucking accountability on Bioware's side that they released the game in such a shitty state. I mean, I'm playing on patch 1.4. You should have seen how shitty it was when the game was released on patch 1.0. It was fucking horrible. Constant game breaking bugs, constant like crashes to the desktop, like desktop crashes, fucking constantly. Like every few hours you would get a desktop crash, and the game does autosave every now and then, but even between the autosaves you would lose progress. So that's definitely not something that I am going to tolerate. I'm not going to review the game on the 1.5 patch because it fixes a few of the stuff, and honestly, even if I'm making it sound as if the 1.5 patch is so brilliant, you can trust me, it's not. I've played on the 1.5 patch for like the past week, and it's still pretty shitty. There's still a lot of stuff broken, and as I said at the beginning, the one bug with the planet which you can't settle, that bug is still in the 1.5 patch, so that game breaking bug is still there. Where is this guy? He's hiding behind something somewhere. There he is, because I can see him on my map up there, so I was fucking wondering. So you see there, I just got XP from killing those humans. You basically only get XP from humans, you do not get XP from animals. So that is clearly something that is horribly broken about the game. Come on, I want to fucking scan this guy. There we go.
Brokar. They died fighting.
Aksul must have sent them to watch over Tholdir.
As you saw there with the guy laying on the ground, I was fucking clicking the whole fucking time. And that's just a constant thing in the game. The hitboxes on many things are just completely broken, where you're trying to scan something and you have to
Override it.
you have to stand at a certain angle, and you can't just click and have it done with. You have to move around the fucking corpse, constantly click, and then eventually you get the final, the sweet spot in order to scan the thing. I mean, that's ridiculous. How did Bioware allow that to pass quality testing? I think that they just didn't give a fuck. They had deadlines to meet, and they said, fuck the consumer. We're just going to release the game as is, and we won't lose any we won't lose any face over it, or we won't face any backlash over it, because people will still buy the game, people will still pre-order the game, and they won't even know about these bugs until it's too late, which obviously it is the case with many people. I didn't pre-order the game, I bought it after day one, but still a lot of people who pre-ordered the game like basically will get stuck with fucking little issues like this, and it's just not right. I mean, people shouldn't have to put up with a fucking broken game just because the game or the game developers had to meet their deadlines. I mean, if you have to suck it up and release your game a month later in order to make it a better game, then I think they absolutely should. So this is one of the doors that I spoke about at the beginning, where it's absolutely needless. Why do they make you have to spend 10 seconds in order to open this door? I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. They're wasting 10 seconds of your fucking life by having this door here. And this isn't the only door. There are many doors like this in the game where you have to spend 10 seconds opening it. So Bioware just love fucking wasting the player's time.
Override it.
Don't come any closer.
Oh dear. We're here to help.
Don't touch me.
You need medical attention.
It's too late for that. I made sure of it.
Your wounds, they're self-inflicted?
The cat. I can't go back. I won't.
Hush now, sister. The cat are dead. They can't take you. We won't let them.
You sound like him. So confident. So sure.
You mean Axul?
He saved me. Gave me a chance to live. And die on my own terms.
We need to find him, Thordir. Ishare, brave one.
So, for instance, now you can see we are in a building, and this guy's clothes are fluttering in the non-existent wind. Like my hair, this is my female character by the way, my hair isn't fluttering, but his clothes are fluttering. So, I mean, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
We're no closer to Axul.
Her devotion to him surprised me. I don't think anyone affiliated with the Rokar will help us. The only other person who could reach him is the Moshai. I was hoping to keep her out of this. She's always had a blind spot when it comes to Axul. Come on, let's go.
Oh, this is another fucking bug in the game, whereby sometimes your mouse, the mouse cursor, gets stuck in the middle of the screen. So you have to exit and then go back in again in order to get that fixed. That's one little bug that I missed, that I didn't tell you guys at the beginning. But honestly, this game has so many fucking bugs that it's almost impossible to keep track of all of them. Oh, and in the game, basically, you find various stuff. Most of the time they are quest-related, and you just have to scan them. You press G, and then you bring out your scanner, which is located on your arm, and then you just click on the relevant thing. Like, I scanned that corpse outside, and it basically told me a bunch of information about the corpse and how he died. And here I scan the crates, and then it basically gives me some information about the crates. So basically you just press G and you scan whatever you need to. So this is also a little bit interesting. In the in this building, which is pretty dark. I mean, it's not a heavily well lighted environment. I mean, I would like to be able to see this woman's face, that woman that is on the bed. I would like to be able to see her face, but it's not like I can just press F and then activate my flashlight, since the flashlight is automatic. They made it so that you cannot activate the flashlight on your own. So I would like to look at that woman's face, but I cannot. And then once I go outside, then my flashlight activates automatically. So that's just completely nonsensical, to be honest. So let's see where we need to go next. Scan materials, just behind me. So basically for the most part, the game is just you running around, completing quests. A lot of the times you will run into a quest, just like a guy in a building or something like that, and he will give you a quest. And I quite like that. I quite like the quest discovery mechanic that this game has, because especially in that desert level that I showed you guys at the beginning with a white brightness screen thing, especially in that level, you just drive around a little bit and then you oftentimes will walk into or you will encounter a guy in a little hut, and that guy will give you a quest which you didn't have previously. So I really quite like that kind of quest discovery thing. But for the most part, as soon as you arrive on a planet, you get the main quest, which is revolving around helping the people of the planet. So you either have to kill bandits, or you have to kill encroaching wildlife or anything like that. And once you've done that, you have then basically made the local population of the planet happy. And after that, you've done that, you can then settle on the planet. You can then create a base on the planet. And the entire game's purpose basically is settling on different planets. But obviously, as I said at the beginning, I'm not going to tell you why that is. You will just have to basically, once you play the game, you will have to find out why that is. Why is settling on these planets so important? So let's just kill that guy with my little sniper rifle. I've now run out of pistol bullets, but it's not the end of the world. My sniper rifle is quite powerful. It's a little bit infuriating that I have to shoot out like 10 fucking bullets on that beast, and knowing that I won't get XP for it. I mean, it's really quite, I would almost say demoralizing to know that you have to waste 10 bullets on a beast, and on this guy also, since I won't get XP for this guy. So yeah, you have to waste XP, you have to waste bullets, and you don't get any benefit from it. You don't get any XP or anything like that. It's fucking irritating, to be honest. Let's see, are there more guys? Yes, there's one. I have to say that I do like the shooting mechanic in the game. The game has no limit to how far you can shoot. If you can see a guy, then you can basically shoot him. After a certain distance, there is a drop off, like a bullet drop basically. And I am quite impressed with the bullet drop that the game has. It's basically, after a very long distance, you just have to aim a little bit above your opponent in order to shoot him. So let me see, is there one that I can see that is very far? Okay, that one is pretty far, but I don't think it's far enough to really show you exactly what I mean with the bullet drop mechanic. I want to see, is there one that's very far? That one is pretty far. So you just aim a little bit above him, and then you will headshot him. So if he's even further, like double as far, then it will be even more accentuated. You will have to, like, fucking, if that is your target, you will have to aim like that. Like, for instance, there. You aim like that, and you will hit them. That is an explosive thing, by the way. You just need to fucking shoot it, for fuck's sake. I'm not sure, am I shooting too high or too low? I'm thinking I'm shooting too low. Come on. I want to fucking show you guys. Fucking hell. Let's try again with this weapon. I'm going to get it eventually. Let's see here. Oh, there's a guy shooting me, but I can't see him very well. But I want to shoot that explosive barrel. Let's try from this angle. So that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. So it has to be higher. Fucking hell. Come on. Let's try that. Let's try that. And that. And that. No, it doesn't want to fucking work now. I think I'm shooting against a tree branch or something like that, but you can be assured that there is significant drop-off after a while. For fuck's sake. Oh, there we go. I just aimed a little bit above it and it worked. But I think there where I shot from first, from there, I was shooting into these tree branches or something like that. But my quest thing is just here in front. And let's see. There's something over there. It's behind the rock now. So yeah, the game is pretty straightforward. It's definitely way more open world than Mass Effect 2, since Mass Effect 2 was pretty linear, to be honest, but Mass Effect 3 is extremely open world, like probably one of the most open world games that I've played in a long time, like Witcher 3. It's basically on the level of Witcher 3. It's just extremely open world. You can just ignore all of the side objectives and just go exclusively for the main objectives if you really want to, if that is your kind of thing. These containers here basically give you ammo and HP, and any grenades if you are missing any grenades. Look at that, if you shoot without a scope, then you don't kill those things in one hit. But if you shoot with a scope, then you kill them with one hit. So it's an illustration of the fact that weapons are, or sniper rifles are weaker when you shoot them without a scope, which makes zero sense.
Forwarding the results.
Good. Now you can keep up with his gardening.
Botany.
Same thing.
Okay, let's see, where's my next quest? It's up there, but I think I'm going to struggle to get up there. I have to climb a little bit of a mountain. So, I'm going to stay quiet for a little while so that you guys can hear all of the different game sounds, maybe a little bit dialogue, anything like that. And then I will start talking after I notice anything comment-worthy.
Pathfinder.
Don't know what caused that fire, but let's be careful.
I could provide analysis via the scanner, Pathfinder. Network connection is established.
I'm logging in. Searching. I found them. Research files downloading and done. You did it.
We did it. Go team.
If we recovered this data, we may be able to access everything lost in the disaster. I'll alert my colleagues. You've accomplished something amazing, Pathfinder.
So as you can see there, I just did that quest and the viability of the planet has increased. So basically each time you complete a main quest, or even side quests, but the main quests give the most viability, then the viability increases. And once it reaches that point there, which I think is like 40% or something like that, you can then settle the planet if you've completed the main quest. But your encampment will then be attacked by creatures and a whole bunch of other hazardous environmental stuff if the viability is low. So what I usually do is I complete all of the quests on the planet until my viability is 100%, and then I settle the planet, because that just allows you to avoid a lot of the needless busy work that is thrown on top of your encampment if you do a encampment on a low viability planet. So now I just need to figure out how to get to the other side. Okay, so I probably need to go around. Oh no, I need to go backwards. So as you can see, the environments are pretty beautiful, I would almost say. But you will see once we go to the other planets. I'm just going to complete a few more quests on this planet, but then you will see once we go to the other planets, they are also very beautiful planets, to be honest. The environment design is certainly something to be admired. And I'm not even running the game on the ultra quality of terrain. The terrain detail is only on high, it's not on ultra, so it can actually be even more beautiful.
If you get any fungal slime on your skin, I suggest you wash it off immediately.
Let's be careful around the native flora. Okay, everyone?
Okay, I've never described a mushroom as pretty, but those are.
And you also don't get XP for these guys. So as you can see, you can shoot very far. Like literally, if you can see something, then you can shoot it. And that's something that is really quite important to me in many games, especially first person and third person shooters like this, because if I see something, then I want to be able to kill it, and that is not the case with many games. In many games the bullet just completely disappears after a certain distance, which is absolute bullshit. I mean, in real life, if you see something, then you are able to shoot it, so it should be that way also in games. And fortunately, that's one of the good things about this game, whereby it is indeed the fact that you can shoot fucking anything that you see, provided you don't try to shoot it with a fucking shotgun or anything like that. Okay, so my map thing is telling me that there's something around here that I need to scan. Is it up there or what? No, it's not there. It will be here. Okay, so my next quest is hopefully at the bottom, because otherwise I have to go out and then on top of the mountain again. Okay, so this part is quite relevant to the entire story line and story meaning and basically all of the lore behind the game. So I'm just going to skip this part because I do not want to spoil any story elements for you guys. So I will rejoin you guys in a little while.
You should now be able to...
Okay, so I think we are done with this planet for now. I showed you guys a bunch of quests on it, and yeah, I just basically want to, at the end of the video, or by the end of the video, show you hopefully all 5 planets, even though traveling from one planet to another planet takes quite a while. But as you can see, this planet is a jungle planet with a bunch of animals on it, and unfortunately the fact that you don't get any XP from animals is pretty sucky, so it's why I left this planet for very last, since you get very little benefit from actually fighting and doing quests on this planet, since you only get XP from the quests basically. So this is the Tempest, that's the name of the ship, and it is the ship that you use in order to travel from planet to planet. So we are going to jump into the Tempest, and we are then going to go to another planet. Now, during the planet transitions, and sometimes when moving from one area to another area, you get these cutscenes. Now, these cutscenes and the cutscenes between planets are non-skippable. You cannot skip them at all.
Ryder, Liam's looking for you.
So I will get to that in a little bit more time. So this is the Tempest. This is the bridge that you use to control the ship, and you can basically select where you want to go. These are your 2 navigators, basically. I won't go into too much detail, but basically
the outstanding Pathfinder.
Oh, that's another very irritating thing about Sam, who is the computer who constantly talks to you. He fucking constantly reminds you that you have AVP outstanding, and I wish there was just a option to turn him off, or something like where he only notifies you once every 5 minutes or something like that. Not once every fucking minute or something like that, because he really notifies you very often and is quite irritating. So the Tempest you basically use to build a relationship with your crew. That's pretty much exclusively what the ship is used for. There's not really much else that you can do on the ship. You can do research and buy a few things and do strike team Apex missions and stuff like that on the ship. But you can also do all of that stuff at other locations in the game. So it doesn't really make the ship all that important or all that special, to be honest. So I'm not going to go to the different crew members and stuff like that, because they might talk to me and give away a little bit of the story. So basically all that you need to know is that this is the Tempest, and it is your ship, and it houses you and your crew, and you just basically move around it and talk to different people, and you can flirt with them, obviously. If you know the Mass Effect genre, there are romances and stuff like that that you can do with the different crew members. So this is basically a romance pad. It's the place where you romance all of your different crew members and where you discover a little bit more behind all of your crew members. So I'm not going to go into any of that because it's quite unnecessary. I am just going to transition away from this planet to the next planet. So you basically, the way that you land on a planet is you just left click there and then you can land on the planet. Every planet has one discoverable location. So when we go away from the planet, we can see there are also a bunch of other planets in this solar system. This is one solar system. So if we want to move to that planet, which I haven't yet discovered, then basically you just click on it and you will then move. Now I will put the timer on the screen so that you can see exactly how long it takes from one planet to the next planet, and this is unskippable. I can literally click anything that I fucking want, exit or anything, and it's completely unskippable. So this is what I said at the beginning. Basically they being Bioware, obviously, fucking love to waste your time. They just love to waste your time because they take about 20 seconds of your life with each and every planet transition. And believe me, there's a lot of planet transitions, since there's over 100 planets that you can go to, even though you can only land on about 7 or 8 of them. There's over 100 planets that you can land on, or that you can explore, like this one. Basically, you just scan it, and then there's an anomaly, and then you go to an anomaly, and then usually you get minerals from it. So like there, I got 270 XP. Most of the times you get minerals from it, however. So then you go away, and you go to the next planet. And each and every fucking time it's 20 seconds away from your life. I mean, fucking just make this shit skippable. It's so infuriating. It literally, I worked out by the end of the game, like the very end of the game, you would have wasted at least 3 hours of your life. At least 3 hours. If you visited each and every planet. So fucking 3 hours of your life gone down the drain due to needless busy work that Bioware decided they would include in this game. It's really something that pisses me off, and something that would almost make me say that you shouldn't buy this game. But I would much rather say that if you are going to buy this game, don't explore the planets. Just fucking don't explore all of the planets, because you will be wasting 3 hours of your life, at least 3 hours of your life. So that's the only thing that I can suggest. Only go to the main planets. And luckily, all of the main planets are indicated on your galaxy map. So we've now explored this entire solar system, which took fucking like more than a minute, needlessly. Then we go away from that solar system, and now we see the galaxy. This is the galaxy map. And as you can see, I explored about 50% of it before I realized that I'm fucking wasting my time. And then I just stopped exploring all of the other stuff, because like this one, no, not that one. Let's see here. Let's see. This one. So this one is 0% explored. I haven't explored anything on that one. I fucking can bet you my entire fucking computer that if I go there, all that I get is like a little bit of resources and maybe like 270 XP, which is nothing. I mean, you kill a few guys in the game and then you get more than 270 XP. So there's literally nothing to be gained from visiting those planets, because just visiting that one solar system will take you at least 3 minutes, because you have to travel to that solar system, then travel between all of the planets in that solar system, and then travel out of that solar system again. And I can guarantee you that it will take at least 3 minutes. So luckily all of the main planets, or all of the main solar systems in the game are marked. So those are Eos, Havar, which is the one that I am on currently, Aladdin, which is another planet, Vold, which is another one. Where's the other one? Aya, which is this one. That's the first planet that you land on. And where's the main place? Nexus. Let me just see here. Where's Nexus? I can't. Oh, yeah. Here's Nexus. This one is Nexus. That's basically the main starship port that you start on. And the Nexus is an explorable place. Like, you can land there and get quests and stuff like that, but it's for the most part just like a quest hub. You just basically go there to get a bunch of quests, and you can buy and sell stuff, and there's a bunch of traders and stuff like that. But that's the place where you start. And yeah, basically apart from that place and Eos, Eladin, Kadara, Vold, and Aya, those are the only places where you can actually land and explore and stuff like that. All of this other planets, like these planets, I haven't yet explored, like that one and that one and that one and that one and that one. Basically all of these other stars or planets or solar systems and all of that, they are just needless busy work. And at the end of the day, like, there's really no use to travel to them at all. So I would strongly suggest, if you are going to play the game, just ignore all of the other planets, because the main planets like Eos and Aladdin and all of those are marked. Their names are there, so they are marked. So you basically just need to go to them in order to play the game and enjoy the game, because you are going to waste at least 3 hours of your fucking life to go to all of the other planets, just because Bioware decided to put in that needless 20-second travel time between the planets. And between the solar systems, the traveling time is even more, like it's even bigger. So for instance, let's go to one of these other planets, because I want to show you guys at least 2 more planets, I think. Let's go to Vold. Vold is a pretty nice planet. So basically the distance, because I'm traveling from year to year, it doesn't matter. The distance is the same. The travel time between this planet and that planet is the same as from this one to this one. So it's just the animation in between that's going to take the time. It doesn't matter the distance between it. So I will time the traveling time from this one to the other one, and you will once again see that I can click and click and click and press exit and fucking anything, and you cannot skip this animation. And it is purely an animation. There's nothing happening at the back end, or if there was anything happening at the back end, it's extremely small. You can be guaranteed of that. It's a very small amount of data that needs to be loaded. Certainly not fucking 20 to 25 seconds worth of stuff. So that's certainly something that is a huge head scratcher to why they chose to waste the player's time like that. So we are going to land here, and we are once again gonna get another animation, another video that you can't skip. And when you land on a new planet, like a new explorable place, you basically get to select your different weapons. Now you start out with only 1 melee weapon, like that one, and 2 weapon slots, and then later on you can unlock your 3rd and 4th weapon slot. And you basically just click on the weapon, and then you can decide between assault rifles, pistols, sniper rifles and shotguns, and then you just decide which one you want to select here. And all of the weapons can be customized. So if I want to select this one, then you just click there, and then you can select your different customization that you want to add to the weapon. So you can add a different barrel, and you can also see the barrel being added there. Or you can change the color, which supposedly increases the spare ammo, and you can add different clips and a different receiver or a melee attachment there at the front. You can see it's like a bayonet kind of a knife kind of a thing. So you can customize all of your weapons, and that's quite nice. That's one of the features that I really quite like about the game, and that is that you can increase or decrease just about each and every aspect of all of the weapons in the game. Like you can increase the rate of fire, or decrease it, or increase or decrease the clip size, the maximum ammo, the accuracy, the damage. Basically anything in the game of the weapons can be increased or decreased, or you can even make alteration to your pistols, as I have, whereby you can cause them to shoot homing bullets, which is also a quite nice feature which you can add to any of the other weapons also. So you can even make your sniper rifle shoot homing bullets if you really want to. So after you have selected your weapons, then you can select your armor. You can also get different armors, and the armors provide all of the armors provide a different stat bonus. So like for instance, these add extra ammo, spare ammo, and they give you greater headshot damage. These increase your maximum shields and your tech power damage, and you can just go on down the list and see what all of the different sets give. This one gives extra encounter XP, and this one gives extra weapon damage, and yeah, you can just go on down the list. Basically all of them look a little bit different and give different stats at the end of the day. So yeah, and overall all of the different armors and weapons look pretty nice. I really can't complain about the looks of all of the different armors and all of that, and the guns especially are pretty nice. I really don't have any complaints there. And then you can also change your consumables, but I have to be honest with you, I rarely use consumables in the game. Like I've maybe used consumables through my entire 50-hour playthrough. I've maybe used consumables like 5 times. So consumables are pretty useless in my opinion. But they basically refill your shields or refill your life support, which is a mechanic in the game, whereby if you are stood in a fiery place for too long or a very cold place for too long, then it drains your life support, and then you can choose your accompanying guys, and then you can choose your paint job on your rover type thing. So we are going to go just like this, and we are going to get another little animation that we can't skip. And there have been videos online where guys put a thing on the screen which monitors their CPU usage and their graphics card usage. So it basically shows at the back end of your processing what is being processed, if anything. And they have shown that during these cutscenes nothing is being processed, like absolutely nothing. So that just shows you that these 20-second and 25-second animations are completely useless and completely aesthetic, you could say. So this is the one planet, the other planet. Basically there's the jungle planet that we were on at the beginning. Then there's the desert planet that I also showed you at the beginning, where you drive around on the desert planet. Then there is this frozen planet, and then there's another planet which is also kind of desert, even though there is water on the planet, and then there's another planet, but I really can't remember how that planet looks. As far as I can remember, it's like also kind of a jungle planet, but it's not so jungle. It's more like an open kind of a grass planet. So you basically come here and you activate your Nomad, and then you jump into your Nomad and you can then drive around. And as I said, I am really quite impressed by the amount of open worldness that the planets have. You can literally basically drive anywhere. As you can see, this planet, I've already done all of the quests on the planet, and I've explored everywhere, and I've gotten the viability to 100%. After you've done that, there's really no use for you to come back to a planet ever. Once you've done all of the quests on the planet, like I have on this planet, it's basically like content that you have completed. There's really like zero reason for you to ever visit that planet again. There are sometimes additional quests and stuff that brings you back to a planet, like once or twice, but after you've done those, then once again the planet is like at 100% completion. So yeah, as you can see, the planet is pretty nice. It is a barren planet, certainly, but it's still a very nice planet, and I just like the planet this planet the most, because at the beginning it is really quite inhospitable. At the moment my life support is draining extremely slowly, as you can see, and by the way, you can do nice drifting on this planet also. But as you can see, at the moment my life support at the bottom left is draining extremely slowly, but that is because I have purified and altered the environment, the atmosphere of the planet already. Now, I'm not going to tell you how I did that, but just rest assured I did do that because the environment is much less damaging to your life support at the moment. At the beginning, when you arrive on this planet, it is really quite inhospitable, and you basically are forced to move between safe areas, like quote-unquote safe areas, in order to not die due to the extreme cold on the planet. So even though that is no longer the case, that is still one of the reasons why I enjoyed this planet the most, because it makes the planet a little bit more challenging, you could say, and sometimes challenge is good. So one of the other reasons why I do not like the Nomad, and why I really have no idea why the developers of the game chose to limit the speed of the Nomad. It's like, why the hell would they limit the speed? It really, there's zero reasons why they would do that. So when I go down this mountain, you will see my speed at the bottom right clocks out at 161. There you can see 161, and I can clearly go faster than that. I mean, in that sprint down the hill, I could have easily reached like 200 or 220, but no, they decided to limit the speed artificially at 161. That's just one of the other little things in the game that pisses me off, why I really don't know why the developers of the game chose to do that. But yeah, guys, I have pretty much showed you everything that I wanted to show you in the game. As I said, there is a lot of stuff that is wrong with the game, and it's like a lot of small little things that I honestly think that the game developers could easily have fixed it if they just spent another month or two to fix it. I mean, it's not massive stuff. There's one massive thing in the game that I already told you guys about, where you can't settle on the one planet due to a bug, but it's really overall a lot of small little things that's wrong with the game. That they just should have spent a little more, bit more time, like a month or two, to fix those little things. And even though there are a bunch of little things wrong with the game, I honestly think that overall the game is still fun, and the game is still quite playable, and there's still a lot to do in the game. And as I said, I've played 50 hours of the game already, and I am about, I would say, 10 hours to maybe 15 hours away from completing the game. So you could say that in the end you can expect to get about 60 hours of playtime out of the game if you do all of the side objectives and all of this stuff. If you only do the main objectives, you can expect to get about, I would say, 25, maybe 30 hours of gameplay out of the game. So yeah, I honestly think that paying $50 or $60 for a game that is going to give you 50 or 60 hours of gameplay is pretty good, to be honest. I really think that that is a pretty good return on your investment of $50 or $60. I do, however, think that the developers do not fully deserve your money, because I mean, they released a broken game, a game which has numerous bugs and numerous issues. They released, and they expect people to pay full price, to pay 100% of the price, which I really think is not deserved. I really think that they don't deserve people to pay $50 or $60 for a game like this. And on top of that, they have put de novo protection on this game. Now, a lot of people are opposed to de novo protection, and they do not buy any games that have de novo protection on it, because they see it as a, I would almost say, a betrayal to the customers, to the normal paying customers, because the normal paying customers obviously are also hindered by the hindrance of de novo, since de novo does not just hinder the pirates, quote unquote pirates of the games, they also hinder the normal good paying customers of the game. So just also be aware that the game does have de novo protection on it, and I know that there are people who choose to not support any games that have de novo on them. So that's just one other little niggle that you might have that might persuade you to not support the developers of the game. But yeah, overall, my final opinion of the game is that it is buggy as hell. But despite all of the bugs and despite all of the bad stuff in the game, I do think that the game is worth buying, and I do think that the game is worth playing. You could probably, if you searched hard enough, find this game for $40 at the moment, and obviously as time goes on the price will just drop even more. So you should maybe eventually be able to find the game for $30 or so. And yeah, my final opinion on the game is that it is indeed a pretty good game. You will be able to get 60 hours or more of gameplay out of the game. And yeah, hopefully with the future patches that Bioware is going to release, because at the moment the game is on 1.5, maybe with the future patches they fix certain things and perhaps even release a few more DLC that maybe adds more planets and fixes some of the existing bugs, which even after a month, more than a month after the game has been released, those bugs are still in the game. Perhaps they get those bugs looked at and those bugs fixed and more content added. Then if that happens, I would absolutely suggest and recommend that you get the game. But at the moment, I'm really kind of on the fence, but I lean more to the side of the fence that says that yes, the game is a pretty good game, and I certainly do not regret my purchase of this game. So yeah guys, thanks a lot for watching, and feel free to stay another few minutes. As I said at the very beginning, I am going to put a compilation of all of the bugs and glitches that I have encountered in the game so far at the end of the video, so that you guys can see everything that I have spoken about in this video so far that I have found that's wrong with the game. So you can see just exactly how much of a broken game this game has been up until this point, and many of the bugs and glitches that you will see at the end of the video are still not fixed. So yeah guys, thanks a lot for watching, and as always, if you like my reviews, please feel free to support me on Patreon, because that helps me to buy more games and to do more game reviews for you guys. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Feel. I think I've been dead 600 years. In some ways, that's true. It gets...
Though sorry biotics are a few 100,000 years ahead. Humans are catching up. Humans back home, maybe. You skipped class for 600 years.
Mining zones in this region are available, Pathfinder. I've added them to your nav system.
news, Doctor?
Quick and clean.
Remnant pillars, let's check them out.